speaking of a 12-team playoff and hosting a playoff game, does unbeaten Liberty deserve to be in the college football playoff? Just ask yourself that question. Let me pull up their schedule real quick, because it's nothing to bat your eye at. It's not anything that you look at and go, oh wow, they got to play this team, or oh, that's a tough game over there. No, they don't. Here's what I can assure you, for any of you Flames fans listening or watching out there, there is no way, I mean zero way, that they can lose a single game and find their way into the playoff. So they're the second betting favorite amongst the group of 5 to make the college football playoff. They have actually been overtaken in those odds by Boise State, who play a significantly tougher schedule. Boise State plays in the Mountain West, tougher league than Conference USA. They've also got Oregon State on their schedule. They've also got Oregon on their schedule, which is a top 5 team. So at the very least, they're going to test themselves, try and prove what they are capable of against some higher level competition. Those opportunities are not being afforded here to Liberty. Their schedule goes like this. The Campbell Camels. The Camels. Honestly, props for having a unique mascot. Good for you, Campbell. At New Mexico State, that's the hardest game on the schedule. UTEP. East Carolina, well, I mean, at the very least, like, okay, okay. At Appalachian State, that could be the hardest game on the schedule. FIU, at Kennesaw State, Jacksonville State, at Middle Tennessee, at UMass, Western Kentucky, and at Sam Houston. So, is that the schedule that makes you go, oh, wow, if they go undefeated there? Yes, certainly. Certainly that's a game, or that's a schedule that deserves to be in the college football playoff. 13-0, that would be the best group of 5 team. Yeah, I'm not in that particular camp. You got to have at least one, you got to have one team on there. When Cincinnati went to, one Power 4 team, when Cincinnati went to the college football playoff, who did they beat in addition to going undefeated in the American Conference? Notre Dame. Where did Notre Dame finish that year? Yeah, inside the top 15. That has historically been the formula for a group of 5 teams to get close to the college football playoff. Beat a legitimate Power 4 team, win the rest of your games, and you get into the playoff. You get to be considered. Now, of course, there's an automatic berth process by which they can make their way into this 12-team format. Now, many of you enjoy pointing out in the comment section that Liberty has had teams cancel on them, and they don't want to play Liberty, and they don't have a chance, and you can't blame them for playing the teams on their schedule. I'm not debating the merits of those particular points. I have railed against time and time again on this very show, and will do so until someone does something about it to make me stop losing my mind over this lunacy in the sport that I hold so dear. Scheduling in college football is completely broken. It makes no sense. You give powers to individual schools. You have different standards across different conferences who are competing for the same national championship. There is no uniform standard, no consistency, no logic. There's nothing to it. So if you want to make the point, well, Liberty shouldn't be punished for this, your beef shouldn't be with a playoff committee that looks at 13-0 Liberty and says, no, you got to play higher level competition because the one time you did last year, it went 42-6. And I am fully aware that Tulane beat USC in the Cotton Bowl the year prior. Tulane plays in the American Conference. Much tougher league. I mean, Tulane is out there playing Ole Miss all the time. These two things, they are not the same. In the caliber of schedules, they are not the same. At the group of 5 level, you have the Mountain West and the American are up here in Tier 1. A notch below is the Sun Belt. Then you get to Conference USA and the Mid-American Conference. There's a gap. There just is. There just is. And so if you want to be mad at Liberty's schedule and say it's not right that they aren't able to get Power 4 game. It's not fair that they can't do X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to sit here and disagree with you. Because Liberty, operating as a group of 5 school, if I had my college football scheduling world, if that were implemented, guess what? They'd have a Power 4 team on their schedule every single year. And they would have the opportunity to show that they belong at that sort of level, that they can play at that sort of level for a given season. But how is the committee supposed to evaluate a team that has played no one that is anywhere close to being a top 25 team or a high-end bowl team or a playoff caliber team? Even if you had a Power 4 opponent, you play them down to the wire. Like, let's just say, in a hypothetical here, Liberty on this year's schedule, instead of playing East Carolina, if they were to play, what's a good team that'd be an example? If they were to play Clemson, and they take them to overtime and lose by a field goal, then they would have a case to be the highest ranked Group of 5 champion because they have proven on the field that they can play with the teams that you're going to go put them up against. But I'm going to be inclined, doesn't mean a 13-0 Liberty can't be there, because I don't know what the rest of the Group of 5 resumes look like, but what I do know is that if you put together a schedule that has no legitimate opponents on it, I have no way to measure how you would fare against those teams. Spencer, that's why I should get the opportunity. But if I've seen other Group of 5 teams like Boise State or Fresno or Tulane or UTSA or Memphis or whoever, if Memphis goes into Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee and plays a top 10, 5-10 Florida State team this year, wherever they end up finishing, and they take them down to the wire, and the debate comes down to Liberty or one-loss Memphis, and that one loss is to Florida State, and they played them tight, I'm going with Memphis. I'm going with Memphis because I know, I saw, okay, when they play a legit team from a legit conference, they're going to compete, because I'm thinking about the fans who are going to watch these games on TV. And I don't want it to be 45-6. I want the games to be as close as possible if we're going to have this ridiculous 12-team playoff. So don't be mad at me. Be mad at the college football world that has allowed for scheduling to just become an abomination to the sport and is not in a place where it looks like it's going to get any better anytime soon. One day, perhaps. Right now, it's not there. Appreciate everyone listening. I will see you next time. And until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.